G'day guys, this is the second-hand 10x5 mono that I purchased the other, I don't know, about a week ago or so. And when I used it, it sounded off on the ground, so I thought I'd open it up and have a look. So I've already opened it up, but I just put it back together because I'm going to show you what's inside it. So I just do what I did. Undone that, get that off. Someone's put silicone in there, but it's not a bad idea because it stops you tightening this down and cutting the outer braid of the cable, because it makes these things fail. So off come the skid plate, and I noticed that if you look there, you can see daylight. So I need to fix the skid plate up. We'll just put another one on. You can make these yourself easy. You just get a piece of very thin ABS and heat it up with a hairdryer and just bend it the shape and trim it. Yeah, it's not hard to do. So anyway, this is the coil, and the way I pull these apart, use a knife like so, lock it in position that you only got something like that much blade, work it in like so, and work it around. Now these are glued together with a mix of some scrap ABS and some acetone or something of that nature. MEK works as well. And you got to be careful because they sort of fillet it, where it's sort of not just joined like so, it's like that as well. They fillet, and it can cause the blade to jump up, and you'll slice through this top section here. You'll slice through it if you slip. You've got to keep good control. Don't cut towards yourself. You will stab yourself. Don't put your fingers in front of the blade. You'll cut yourself. So anyway, the way you do it, now this had some really hard sticking points on this one when I did it, but I worked around like so. And when I got to the bits that were sort of really stuck hard, I actually worked it like so, and I cut down like that. So be careful putting pressure, because you'll go straight through the plastic if you put too much, and also if you slip, you'll stab that in your leg or something. So just do it carefully. So anyway, I went right around. The sticking points on here, you can see here where the plastic's gone a little bit white. That was stuck like crazy there, and also opposite here. So when I get that, what I found an easy way to do it actually. When you start working, you get a point that is extremely hard. Don't use a solvent as such. This is it's called Lect Clean Ambersil. I think it's Radio Spares or something sells this. I think you could probably get it from anywhere. It's okay, yeah. Well, that explains that, because it's made in the UK. But whatever this stuff is, high flash point solvent, but it doesn't melt this stuff. It won't touch it. So what I did, I actually sprayed it in the gap here, and just let it, 10 seconds odd, and then I started working it. It actually made it a lot easier. So maybe it acts as a lubricant, or it helps, do something to the glue. I don't know what it does, but it made it easier. Anyway, I pulled. Remember, this was totally sealed. This was sealed perfectly. There was not even a pinhole through this. So I pulled it apart like so, and the whole thing, you have a look at this. You see it's very, very dusty and dirty, which it is, and it's got these little, I don't know, little foam strips put down there as well, which actually you lose an extra bit of coil height because of that. So is it a good thing? Is it not? But whatever it did. Now, when I tested, remember I tested the detector with this coil when I put it down, it would scream off. Well, have a look at this. I don't know if you can see that clearly, but see all that white, not the tape, but the white there and there, there. The spray-on graphite shielding is worn away right where the windings are, okay? So if I put this down the ground and the coil could sense the ground because there's no shielding there, it'll scream, right? So that's one hell of a noisy coil. You don't want to use a coil like that. Now, I'm in two minds about this. I can get my graphite paint and just repaint this, and it will repair it. These are a Litz wire coil, but the overall, well, have a look at this though. This got me. Right, now this is a sealed coil. Look inside it. See how dirty it is. It actually puffed out dust at me when I pulled it apart, actually. And yeah, have a look. In the bottom of it there's piles of dirt sitting in there. There's dirt running around. Or is that the carbon? But anyway, the carbon on this has rubbed off in so many places, it'll be as noisy as hell. It's not going to shield. Oh, God, actually. What am I saying? Look at the top of it. I was too busy looking at the dirt. I didn't notice. Look at the white, all those white patches there. That's no shielding. There. If I actually put this on the detector, and yeah, actually it has had a bit of a crush there with that crazy cable gland. The things I absolutely hate, it's my pet hate. If you can see that where my thumb is, well, I don't know if you can really need to put something white. It's really embedded in. It's had a hard crush there. So these cables, if you want to reuse them, are quite long. They're actually too long. So you could just cut that there and pull this apart and stick it in there, and don't ever do it the cable gland tight. Obviously it doesn't work anyway, right? It just is full of dust, and yeah, it's just woeful. Yeah, don't want to drop it on myself, but yeah, have some dirt. So I'm in two minds. Do I actually repair this and use it, because it will work as a nice 5x10, or do I just throw this away and make my own coil? I can make a far more efficient coil with knowledge that's been obtained over the years compared to this. This is made years ago. So yeah, I'm in two minds. And if you want to actually see how these were made and some of the critical measurements, the most well, it's not really the most critical, but it's one of them. I'm not going to worry about the inductance on it because it will be about 300 odd microhenries. But let's have a look at the actual graphite on this one. And I'll do it over about an inch or 25 millimeters. And we'll just see what we have. That's an inch, 25. There you go. It's smack on 80 ohms. It's very common over an inch for these type of coils all to be 80 ohms. Now, on some of the very later coils, remember I said anything that wraps around the winding, if it's resistive, is going to actually chew up some energy from the coil. It's not going to be like a bar radio and you warm your hands, but it is. Those very small signals will be, some of them will be diminished by interacting with the shielding and the shielding capacitance. The capacitance tries to slow down fast decaying signals and basically filter them out, so they don't actually occur. They want to try and go like that, and they're just sort of basically there's no decent time duration. It just gets like a big capacitor shoved across it, so it's not there. The bigger the capacitor, the worse the effect. So yeah, I'm just going over this at the moment and just checking it out, and yeah, well, it's a little bit close, but there we are. 85, we got 85, 87, 90, that sort of thing. And I'll just poke the white bits, just make sure. I'm pretty sure there's nothing there. There's nothing there. Like if I'll hold this up without trying to stab myself with these prongs, but oh dear, here we go. How am I going to do this? I'm going to stick it on my there, and if I go on the oops, stay there. Come on. I got detectors on the bench, they're in the way. So there we go. There's me. I can't even read what that is. That's a little bit over an inch. That's probably an inch somewhere there. So that's what the resistance is, probably bouncing around. But the white patches here, when I go on those, full open circuit, there's nothing going to happen. There's no shielding there. So that will sound off. You'll get that if you're on moist ground, more than anything, moist ground, clays, or highly conductive type mineralized ground, that is going to, instead of having the capacitance effect on this graphite, doing this, it will not affect the winding because it's between the winding and the ground. That's how it works. It's intermediate that stops the capacitance from the ground to whatever, which happens to be this plate, just reacting here. If this was gone, then it reacts with the winding, and the winding will change its capacitance to ground, and it will scream. You'll never ground balance it. So when you start getting this happening here, the ground, and also a fringing effect from the plastic as well, you do get a capacitive effect from the plastic. It will want to affect the actual coil winding in here because there's no way of stopping the effect. So that's when I was putting that on the ground, it was going wah, wah, really, really loud. And yeah, there's bits all over it. There's like there. The worst place for the shielding to be worn away is right where the coil is. So you can see there, it's worn away, worn away, worn away. And there's many places there around it. And I even noticed there's some on the side that it's freaking dirty as this, that have worn away just on the top edge there as well. That will interact. Oh, there's a lot there. That will all interact with the ground and cause a capacitance change in the coil windings, and the detector is going to go wow, wow, like that when you try and ground balance it. You can fix that, like I say, graphite paint. Just get all the white bits, paint them. It doesn't make any damn difference on the conductivity when you're patching these. You could use 1,000 ohms per inch because they're very small. You know, the overall effect is going to shield it because of the surrounding low resistance of the existing graphite or carbon black paint, whatever they use. And these ones here, same. You know, if you've got a big patch like it was an inch square, I would then use proper resistance value paint. You can go to about 250 ohms or something. It's not going to have much of a detrimental effect at all. It'll probably work just the same. And I have seen some of the later coils, and I'm gonna say this because ever since I said about any wrap of carbon material around the actual coil winding itself, as it actually acts as a winding around the coil. It is a conductive medium, and it acts as a partial shorted turn, and you will get diminished receive signals. It will also chew up microwatts of transmit signal, which big deal. It's not going to do anything, but the receive signal, yes, very critical. So yeah, that's a complete failed coil. That's why it don't work. It's very lumpy and bumpy as well. Not that that's going to affect anything. Have a look at it in the light there. It's very stuck down and not. You can pull these apart. You just get a little bit, probably a little bit of isopropyl. Stick it on the tape, and you can, you know, the tape. If you leave it, keep it wet long enough, eventually the sticky will let go, and you can just peel it back. This comes off as a sandwich. The critical thing is that you have so the bottom piece, the end bits here, like that go up the sides, which I'll hold it around that way a bit. So up the sides, do not short it onto the top one, which is made sort of the same way. When it goes together, it has to be, doesn't go like and join here, right? It has to be separate. Otherwise, you're going to have a complete shielded assembly. It'll be like a Faraday cage. This is important to note. I don't know, I've never mentioned this before. To me, it's common sense and just normal everyday, life. And maybe I should say it. Yeah, I should, shouldn't I? Don't join them like hard and painted along here or anything, because that'll just be a shielded Faraday cage. You'll not even get the coil to work. It has to be like this, okay? And then you're going to say, oh, but this isn't shielding to that. Yes, you use a very fine wire, 0.02, very fine. Make sure it's a plated wire, tin plated wire, not copper wire, it'll just corrode. And tin plating also burns off eddy currents. But just join the top and the bottom with that little bit of conductive wire. You can drill a hole through the middle of it and stick it on. And the way to stick that wire on too, I haven't really ripped this to bits to have a look inside, but I've got one over here. Maybe the double D one's got one on there. I'll show you. Oh, damn it, I'll put it on my chair and it's all dirty. Oh, damn. Okay, have a look here. This wire here, this is the grounding wire or your earthing wire or your shield wire. I'll try and hold it in close so you can actually have a look at it. Okay, the way this works is that you can see this one had a plate of, it's just cardboard by the way, just thin cardboard with graphite paint put on it, and the same construction as that one. Comes up the sides. All you do around the sides is you can cut it, make it a little bit bigger than the actual disc size, and as you bend it around, you can cut it and just feather it around like so. And when you do the other one, basically do the same, but just put a bit of masking tape around it on the first one, so there's no way knowing that the second one can touch, because then it will cause a shorting effect around it. If it's in lots of points, it'll dumb down the coil. So you get that thin stuff that will go onto the braid, the cable braid. That this hasn't got any cable in it. It's probably because I was doing tests with it the other day when I was showing the capacitance. So I actually removed it. So basically, you'll get this, and say that's the you can take whatever you want depending on the polarity you want the coil. You can change the phase of the coil too if you want by reverse winding them. Someone actually years and years ago put little toggle switches in the coils that depending on the position would change the phase of the receive coil to the transmit coil, so you can flip the phase and it would give a different response. So instead of high to low, it would be low to high. It's quite interesting. And then the opposite on the tail off. So, yeah, you solder that with as minimal solder as you can on that Litz wire coil there. And the way you would do this is you'd probably have more of it here, and you would put this down. Well, actually, that's not it. It's here. Silly me. I'm grabbing the receive Litz wire, and then I noticed it. That's Litz wire. Here, this one, that one. Right? So what you do is have it here, and you would have it just somewhere on here. Just somewhere. It doesn't on the cardboard with the graphite painted on it, and you'd lay it on top. And what you do then is you would tape it down with bits of masking tape, but leave lots of gaps between it. And then you blob on the black carbon paint. You've got what you painted the other thing with, something thicker, but also carbon or graphite based glue or paint. Don't use any metallics. And what you do then is use that as a conductive glue to hold the wire down on top of the cardboard and graphite that's not on this one at the moment. So, and then what you do is you do it on the other side. So it goes through the coil. It go through, and it would just go here, through there, little hole, and on there. Doesn't matter how long it is, how big it is, or whatever, as long as it's under about 0. I don't know, 0.012 or something like that. The smaller the better, the finer the better, within reason. Don't want it so fine that it snaps. And it's got to be, make it tin plated so it doesn't corrode, and you can just glue it down. Then you have your little bits of cardboard with graphite, like and like that over each other. And look, because it's only painted on one side, it's not going to touch, but it can. You could, like I say, just put masking tape around it as an insulator, as just another stopgap measure. When you sandwich it together, then put masking tape on it again, and just get wide masking tape, not too wide, because you just want to fold it over like this all the way around, and you've got a beautiful pancake coil. And that's how you make your Faraday shield, and it will work perfectly, as long as you use carbon blacks and graphite based materials for your shielding. Don't use anything with nickel in it. Some people I know have done it and said, oh, I'll be smart, I've got nickel conducting spray paint, and the coil won't do anything. It'll sit there as a complete dead loss to the universe. The nickel is just way too conductive, and it acts like a massive big piece of metal. And you put a big piece of metal on the coil, it's not going to work. You've got to use graphite or carbon blacks, and you really want to aim for it, well, on these 80 ohms. But like I say, I've seen the newer ones up 500, 600 ohms. That's done for a reason, and my reasoning would be for extra sensitivity. You could do a double type of thing. I'm going to start giving away all my coil secrets now. But just remember, anything conductive will absorb energy, and you don't want to make it surround the coil as a continual piece. Like what I've done in a lot of cases, this is sprayed with graphite, that's sprayed with graphite, and if you do that, it'll sound off here. Do this, overlap it, and just put a bit of fine wire from this bit to that bit, and just do it all the way around. The more breakup, this is giving away the freaking crown jewels. The more breakup of the conductive Faraday shield, even though it is highly conductive as such, I mean 80 ohms, but if you actually break it into sections and just join it with the fine wire with carbon all the way around, but don't have big sheets of it, put it over, so it's actually, that's not electrically conductive to that, but it's a Faraday shield, but you have to join the top to the bottom of a bit of wire across. Just join it like that, and it won't take it. It has the ability to absorb very small signals. Basically goes away, and it won't absorb. I don't know if anyone actually in the real world does that. If you want to pull apart a new coil, you might be able to see that they do that, or it's going to be in the new coils, because I said that. The other way you do it too, you can run, and what I would do, this is my way of doing it, if you run a circular around the coil, mainly around the receive coil of say 80 ohm, just a piece of cardboard with the graphite on it, put it around here like so. That's extremely conductive, and then join that to a material maybe 250 odd ohms, that you got a very high strip of conductive graphite cardboard over the actual winding, So it really makes it so less reactive to the ground, and do the rest of it light. Don't do a full conductive circle over it with very conductive stuff. It'll become part of the coil and short it out. Anything in a coil, and you do that, now that is shorting out your coil, no matter what it is. It can be even if it's 1,000 ohms, right? You do this, the Faraday shield, do that, always break it. Any part of the coil, break it, overlap it, conductive, and now, you know, if the coil's where my thumb is and my chin is the ground, it can't get to it. It can't influence it, so there will be no sound off. But you don't have a massive, big, continuous resistor on your coil, which is a Faraday shield, burning up all your energy from your receive signal. It does. It actually diminishes the receive signal. So yeah, okay, there you go. You know the secrets. But I've got more secrets than that too. So it's one of them. But it will improve coils out of this world to do that, to get rid of the continuous resistive Faraday shields that are being used. There are other ways of doing it, but yeah. So what do? Do I completely rewind that coil? A fellow, by the way, has brought round, or actually dropped off at David's place, a massive box of coils for us to do testing with. And in there is the same thing, the 10 by 5 Coil Tech, the old elliptical coils, and there is a double D one in there, and there is another mono one as well. So how about if I actually redid this coil the way I would do it, right? I mean, I'd change the layout of the Litz wire and everything. I'd really change it and build it up, because it'll be exactly the same size. I'll do probably the same amount of turns. It'll be the same inductance and everything like that. And I'll show you how much better you can make a coil. I haven't done it for ages. I've just got my own little lab test coils I've wound that way. But these, I did wind one up once, and someone borrowed it off me, and that person has now become the permanent owner of that coil, because I never had it returned. That was years ago. That was probably, 8 years ago. So I hope you're enjoying the coil to the person who took that. Yeah, another thing too, I'm going to mention this because David rang up saying, oh, do you know this guy, someone, Mike, someone, I'm saying the last name, and I said, yes, I do. What's your interaction with him? And he goes, oh, he bought some batteries off us. And he rang up and he's screaming black and blue that he has to fight like crazy to put the battery connector in the back of the GPX detector and take it out. So his complaint is that the 5-pin connectors are too tight in the back of the detector. And now we've sold so many batteries over the years, right? And it's the first time I've ever heard this, but I know the name. I know the Mike whatever your name is, right? And I said, David, you've made the first fatal mistake, right? And I said, you've dealt with this person. I know not to. I won't. It's on my blacklist. I wouldn't care what was ordered. I wouldn't deal with this person. No matter what, there will be a whinge, a complaint of some description. And the guy has no telephone manner whatsoever. It is like, like that. David would have flipped out. So, yeah. I think David rang him back and left him a choice message after thinking about it. But anyway, when I said, he goes, oh, do you know this guy? And I said, yeah. Like, I do. That name will never leave my head. And I said, you don't deal with it. So yeah, too late. So, but what it basically is, if I've got one here, I've probably got one over here, which is has been put. It's the wrong one. I know where it is. It's on my detector, isn't it? Yeah, I've got them both on the. Oh, hang on, maybe I've got it down here. No, it's on the test detector. At the moment, I'm just using one of these the super finder, the super finder battery. That it's good for a bench battery, but yeah, I wouldn't use it. Too big and too heavy. And I think the audio amps and that blew up too, so I've just direct connected through it. I use my own amplifier. But yeah, one here, here's one of the, it's another, it's a GP one. Got GP batteries everywhere. I haven't got any, David's got them all at his place. But yeah, just a 5-pin plug. You know, one of these, if I can undo it. Oh, here comes lunch. Fantastic. Oh, there. Hang on, I've got one here. I've got everything buried in here. Oh, there's a battery way over there, small battery. Come here, you. So yeah, the problem is that the 5-pin plugs that are on our batteries is too tight. How about a suggestion? How about put a bit of lubrication on it, like WD-40 or RP7 or spray silicone, or go to the gym and get some muscles. I mean, fair income, right? Sorry, I'm starting to sound like Lewis Rosman now, aren't I? You know, like I'll grab a. Right, okay. This one hasn't got the side. This was handed into me, so it hasn't got the thing on it. You know, but the argument is, right, that this is too hard to go in there. You know, you have to be built like freaking Superman to get it in and out. You know, that's the whinge. So we got blasted because, you know, it's like get in there. Oh, it went in, thank God. They're new connectors, mate. Jesus, unbelievable. Anyway, it's not and it shouldn't even be an issue. Hang on, let's have a look over here. I use a 5-pin plug just to make up a quick charging lead for that other battery. So if you look on the net guide, I'll tell you what too, just as a matter of interest, they tell you how to connect up these connectors to use the battery. They don't tell you how to connect it up to charge it. I looked, I said, there's no information. So anyway, I know it's on, can't even read the pin number in there. It's on pin, I think pin, I don't want to say the wrong way around because you hook it up the wrong way around. And anyway, if you hold it around, if you have a look at the back of it there, right, you can see it there, that where the pins, the gap is. Okay, the gap is there. And if I hold the gap around there, you can see the red one is on the top and the black one is under it. That's how you charge it. The black is common for use and charge. And the red one here is where you connect it up to charge it. So if you hold it around that way, it's the top one closest to my finger is the red one, and then under that on that side is the black one. That's how you charge the batteries. So that's on those. I think all the MindLab ones are the same. So, but anyway, it's a brand new connector. I've only had it in that battery once. So in there, and it's in. I can't get it out. No. Mike, grow some muscles. That's just a random detector. All our plugs are the same. I mean, Jesus. Sorry, having a rant, but when I heard the name, I knew, and I said, "Oh no, David's copped that one." So yeah, we're making up a list at the moment. I said, David, you're going to make a list up, and you're going to put people that are blacklisted on that list. Do not deal with them, right? Just don't, because they do your head in. They'll ring up and whinge for an hour over something trivial, and it's ridiculous. Mike, you don't like the battery? Send them back, okay? Send them back or grow some muscles. But like I say, I'm not saying any last names because that'll cause more issues, won't it? So guys, yeah. So David will see this and he'll probably burst out laughing. Mike will see it and he'll freaking fume like a volcano, and probably ring up David and start going completely ballistic. But like I say, a lot of Mikes in the world. Could be anybody, couldn't it? So that's the story on that. So yeah, back to the coil dilemma. How about I rip the whole guts out of it? This coil, I just chop the damn thing off, and I'll rebuild a new coil. I'll definitely use Litz wire, like I did the test coil. I just did it in tin plated wire just to show that it worked if you did it properly, and it's about 5% below performance of a modern coil. And well, that was a Commander coil actually. 5% performance below a Commander from changing from Litz to Teflon insulated multi-strand tin plated. But I won't do tin plated. I'm going to use Litz wire because there is a little performance advantage, but I will do the shielding completely differently. And I'll use the same cable as well, so that'll be on par with the other two that are here, because the capacitance will be the same on the monos, not the double D. That'll be woeful, as previous tests indicated, but I can't do anything about that. I have somewhere kicking around, I have a Commander double D, elliptical 5x10 or 10x5, however you want to say it, kicking around somewhere. I could resurrect that and compare the Commander against that orange beastie. The Commander should work, but like in the far distance past, where I spoke to someone at Mindlab and they said, well, we're not in the business of coils, we're in the business of detectors. I said, okay, that's true. It was, a long time ago, but maybe all these people have retired by now. But quite funny. I thought that was funny. Okay. It's like, no, I'm not going to say. They'll probably crack it if I say too much. They'll all get round and have a big drinking session and start speculatively discussing me or something, and it'll get out of control, in my opinion. Anyway, sorry. I've heard a lot of stuff. If I believed everything I heard, right? If I believed everything I heard, I'd think everyone at work for Mindlab was a raging alcoholic. But I think they're pulling my leg, and I have no proof of that. But I don't think that would be true. I don't know. Maybe people who past employees could leave some comments. But I think they have fairly steady turnover of staff anyway. So maybe it's very, very old, and all the new ones are all teetotalers. I don't know. That's just what I got told. I thought that was just funny to throw in there. It means nothing. I'm not having a go, but sorry, Mike. Look what you've done. You've opened up a can of worms, and I'm going to start paying out on everyone. Yeah. So anyway, I'll redo that coil. I'll show you how good you can make a coil. I make a really good coil, and the thing is that when I make it, I can't let it out of my sight. That's the trouble, because I tell you what, I've made really good coils before. I made some 14-inch ones that were tested. I just blew everything away, and one of them just disappeared. We don't know where it went, and don't know who took it, but it did. It actually disappeared. Someone took it. So you've got to be wary. And if you see my coils, I'll do all sorts of things on them to make them stand out. Like it might be painted bright yellow or have stripes on it or something like that, just so people don't switch and don't walk away with them. It has happened before, and that was on we were making the 14-inch ones. Not accusing anybody, but the coil just walked away all by itself. And it's like the reason why I colour my pick handles in very bright colours. It's not just to relocate when I lose them out in the bush. I've lost 2 picks when we've had multiple people around from, say, like a club event, and there's a big target, and I'm digging it, and then someone comes in, they all want to help dig it, right? So the pick goes around, and it turns out to be a horseshoe. Everyone walks away, and about 20 minutes later, I go, "Oh, where's my pick?" Nowhere to be found. Then no one's got it. Don't know. It just vaporized. But these are my experiences. I'm just putting them out there. That's what happens. So got to be careful. Got to be careful. I know poor old Herman the German once. God rest his soul, Herman. Very good detectorist. But I know he bought an extended shaft, and he was using it to at a test site with us, and there was other people there, and there was coils going shaft to big coils, and had to go on an extended shaft. And at the end of the day, everyone went home, and he goes, "Oh, where's my extended shaft?" Nowhere to be seen. It went to someone else's house. But I don't know, it was just accidental or on purpose, but it does happen. So mark all your stuff. Coils, put your name on them. Big, freaking engrave it in there. Put it on with a Vandal texture. Just put some identification on your stuff, because it does disappear. Anyway. Oh dear, went right off topic from a dirty old dusty coil, that to other subjects, of course, because in this gold game there is a lot of information floating around, and a lot of things happening. So it's just sometimes just good to have a bit of fun with it all. But yeah, so yeah, I don't know what Mike's going to do. You either have to go to the gym and beef up, or he's going to have to return the batteries to us. It's pretty sad when people can't plug the connectors in. Pretty weird. Yeah, eat your spinach. Be like Popeye. Oh dear me. Hey, and if you ever had trouble with our battery connectors, because I know a lot of you out there probably have our batteries as backups even, let me know about it. Say it in the comments. I want to know if you got spindly arms and spindly fingers and can't get the batteries in. How do you go detecting? got like spider leg arms or something. Freaking, oh God, sorry. Right off topic, but yeah, guys, I'll do a coil. I will do a coil, but like I say, that was basically the basis of this video, was to show how to pull a coil apart, even though I already did it, but just how to do it. You see, you can have a look here. Look at the glue. That's all glue. That's not plastic from the other part of this shell. It's all lumpy, bumpy glue. This is where it's really hard to get through, because when ABS is mixed with MEK or even acetone, and it dries, and there's a lot of it in there, it's hard. It's not like normal, like this stuff here. You can bend it. This is just rock hard. So I'll probably, if I only reuse this one, I'll probably either roughly sand or file this stuff off, because it won't glue properly, and yeah, I'll stick it back together. Then I'll make up some a little bit of ABS. I've got some ABS leftovers, and I'll fix up that that hole there in the skid plate. So yeah, it's got a sticker on it. It said something or other, $15.30 plus GST for a bit of ABS. I can buy a whole freaking meter, 1.2 meter by 1.2 meter sheet of ABS for $15.30. So think about the profit margin in that. They're dead easy to make. You just have a little hot die and just push them over and trim them off. Put them under a horizontal saw. Trim, done. Next, $15, $30, $45. Keep going. Oh, sorry, it's just this industry. It is what it is. It's crazy. Anyway, enough waffle. I'm gonna better eat my lunch. Catches.